Tonight at 5, the back and forth over Washington's drug laws.
The legislature needs to do its job.
With the future of drug possession laws now in the hands of local governments, we're taking concerns from leaders across the state straight to Governor Inslee. Funding for the ferries, the new budget that just passed, how it'll improve our state's ferry system, and the big obstacles still standing in the way. And the 2024 presidential race is shaping up. What issues President Biden is drawing attention to in his campaign announcement, and the concerns from some who fear he may not be fit to run again.
And the only thing I can say is watch me.
No one needs an AR-15 to protect your family. You only need it to kill other families.
Major action on gun control in Washington state. Today, Governor Jay Inslee signed 3 bills meant to prevent gun violence.
So let's break those down for you here. The first bill bans the future sale, distribution, manufacture, and importation of more than 50 assault-style weapons, including AR-15s and AK-47s. It does not ban possession of guns that are already owned. Gun shop owners now have 90 days to sell their inventory. There are exceptions, though, for law enforcement and military.
The second law requires safety training and a 10-day waiting period before purchasing a firearm. The third aims to strengthen accountability of firearm manufacturers and retailers. The governor says despite these new laws, there is still work to be done.
They're not the only things we need to do against gun violence. They are not a total panacea. But just because they don't solve all the problems does not mean that the state of Washington does not take action. Inaction against gun violence is unacceptable in the state of Washington.
The governor says the next step is to ensure people have more access to mental health care, along with more law enforcement training. Also making headlines at the state capitol today, Governor Inslee blasted lawmakers after they failed to pass a measure that would keep drug possession illegal, saying he would be meeting with them today.
With a statewide decision up in the air, individual cities are now scrambling to make their own drug enforcement decisions. KOMO's Paul Rivera reports on the back and forth on this very important issue and what's next. Paul?
It's a back and forth in Olympia now as time is almost out to make a law on penalties for drug possession.
This ought to be achievable. I'm insisting on it.
What currently exists is a stopgap measure that ends in a few months that makes possession a misdemeanor. It was passed when a couple of years ago the state Supreme Court struck down a law that made it a felony. Senate Bill 5536 was going to address the upcoming gap in the law, but it failed this weekend. Because of this, Governor Jay Inslee is now sounding off on lawmakers.
It is unacceptable for the legislature not to produce such a bill.
The bill had received a lot of criticism. Most recently, the mayors of Everett and Marysville didn't think it held drug users accountable. Now, without the action from the legislators, cities are taking matters into their own hands. Can the states stay without a fix here? What do you think needs to be done?
No, I'm talking to legislative leaders today. They need to come together. We need a bill that will not decriminalize drugs.
Since the session is over, lawmakers would need a special session to come back and pass something. But even now, the finger-pointing continues. Republican Senator John Braun and Democratic Representative Lori Jenkins, who are expected to meet with Inslee, sent statements. I am deeply concerned that not a single member of the House Republican caucus voted for the bill, Jenkins said. Braun saying the majority dropped the ball. If the bill mattered that much to them, they would have passed it themselves. Braun also went on to say that he doubts there will be a special session unless there's an agreement. In Olympia, Paul Rivera, KOMO News.
And a spokesperson for Inslee said, quote, the governor has said legislators need to agree on a proposal that has the votes. Once that happens, a special session would be called to pass it. After 2 high-profile attacks, the mayor of Edmond says he and the police chief are taking steps to address violent crime in the city. Last week, a man was stabbed to death in a Winco parking lot. That suspect was eventually arrested in Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood. Then over the weekend, a 13-year-old boy was injured in a drive-by shooting near College Place Middle School. That teen is out of the hospital, but the shooter is still on the run.
For those of you who think you can come to our town to harm our children, we will hunt you down, and we will bring you to justice.
The city is down 8 police officers right now, and Mayor Nelson wants to speed up the process of getting new recruits out of the academy and onto the force. KOMO's Lynn Ann Wynn will have more on this story for us on KOMO News at 6 o'clock.
Today, a Seattle City Council committee advanced an ordinance that makes it a crime to obstruct a firefighter while they're doing their job. In the past, we've reported on firefighters who were assaulted while on the job. The Seattle Fire Department reports that some have been hospitalized and even needed surgery after being attacked.
These incidents and incident scenes are often very chaotic, and when EMTs must focus on the surroundings, they struggle to focus on the patients.
Under the new ordinance, firefighters would be protected from interference, but it would only apply during the immediate emergency they're responding to. The full City Council will vote on the ordinance on May 2nd.
Looking live at Coleman Ferry Dock in Seattle tonight, there is new money set aside for state ferries. But will that money solve the issues this state agency has been dealing with for years now? KOMO's Denise Whitaker is asking that question of several people today and joins us live with what she's learned. Denise?
Right. The first question a lot of people want answered right now is the governor going to sign this new budget, which would give state ferries $1.3 billion? I reached out to the governor's office asking that question. I was told they're still awaiting review and scheduling action on that bill.
Those cars.
A disaster like the Kathlamet crashing into pilings off the Fauntleroy Ferry Dock last year, or the Walla Walla losing all power, going aground just a few weeks ago, are not things helping the ferry system. It's no secret the state's been struggling for some time to keep staffing levels where they need to be and boats running, trying to get back to pre-pandemic scheduling.
It's going to take some time to get there.
And Ian Sterling with State Ferries tells me it's also going to take new boats.
Really, we need to be building a boat a year for the foreseeable future.
The state's already got authorization to build up to 5 new hybrid electric Olympic-class vessels.
The news is we have a complete design in hand, and we're currently shopping for a shipyard to build these things.
Bad news, the state does not have a shipyard to build those boats for it.
Vigor Shipyard right here in Seattle had built the last 12 ferries. Can't they just keep building ferries?
Yeah, so, we were hoping that Vigor might be able to do that, and we weren't able to reach terms as far as price for the new ferries.
I also asked Vigor about building more new boats for the state. Jill Mackey emailed me this statement that said, in part, certainly the state needs new boats, and we are very supportive of the state's long-range plan relative to replacing vessels in an aging fleet. She said they are anticipating a new request for proposals, or RFPs, opening up soon. State lawmakers did just approve out-of-state builders to be able to bid on these projects, so that process is likely to change a bit. The governor, however, has not signed that bill, which was just passed last week.
And regardless of who gets the bid to build new ferries, Sterling tells me it takes about 2 to 3 years to get a ferry off the assembly line and out here onto the water. In the meantime, he says they're going to keep working on upping those staffing levels and maintaining their fleet. And by the way, the new state ferry fares for summer travel go into effect on Monday, so some people will be paying just a little bit more. Live in Seattle, Denise Whitaker, KOMO News.
All right, Denise, thank you. Happening in the next 90 minutes, the Edmonds School District is set to go over its proposed budget cuts. School officials are looking for ways to make up a budget deficit of $8.9 million. The district's latest plan calls for closing the Woodway Center, which is a school for pre-kindergarten and kindergarten students. In addition to cuts to staff and other office administrative positions, parents and teachers will have a chance to respond during tonight's meeting. It's scheduled to begin at 6:30. This is a live look now at the King County Elections Office, where employees are counting ballots in today's special election. Voters in King County are voting on Proposition 1. If passed, $1.25 billion would be used to fund 5 walk-in clinics for people with drug addiction and mental health issues, as well as providing increased bed space. It would cost the average taxpayer about $10 a month. If the levy passes, those 5 clinics would be spread out between North, South, and East King County. There would also be one in Seattle and one dedicated to youth services.
Looking live at the White House tonight, where President Biden officially announced today he will run for re-election in 2024. The president made that announcement with a video that opened with images of Trump supporters engaged in the January 6th insurrection on the Capitol. The president narrates the video, saying the fight for democracy is not over.
Cutting Social Security, dictating what health care decisions women can make, banning books, and telling people who they can love.
The announcement sets the stage for a rematch between Biden and former President Trump, the two oldest presidents in U.S. history. While 80-year-old Biden has acknowledged concerns about his age, he insists it is a non-issue for his performance in office. Today's KOMO News Pulse Poll is about how much you think the president's age will factor into the election.
KOMO's Preston Phillips is looking at the numbers for us. Preston?
Yeah, that's the question we're asking tonight. How do you think the president's age will factor into all of this? And do you think it should be a factor in his run for re-election? Well, right now, the overwhelming majority of voters, your 82%, say yes, up against the 16% who say no. To vote right now, just scan the QR code there on your screen. That'll take you directly to KOMOnews.com, where you can cast your vote. We're always committed to being your voice on the issues that matter most in our local KOMO Pulse poll. It's a great way for you to speak out and have your voice heard.
Polls showed that the economy and inflation continue to be top issues for voters, and those could be trouble spots for the Biden campaign. National correspondent Atra El Nashar reports from Washington, new at 5.
The President of the United States, Joe Biden.
President Biden, once again, a presidential candidate. In his first remarks since launching his campaign Tuesday, promoting his economic agenda.
It's time to finish the job.
Drawing a contrast with Republicans.
They believe the best way to grow the economy is from the top down, then to watch the benefits trickle down to the rest of us.
A new poll by The Economist and YouGov shows American adults continue to rank inflation and jobs in the economy as their top issues. But the president's approval ratings on both issues are underwater.
We will get through this together.
When President Biden took office in January 2021, the nation was still reeling from the pandemic. Vaccines not yet widely available, and the economy essentially at a standstill. Unemployment was 6.3%. Now it's tied for a 50-year low at 3.5%. Annual inflation was just 1.4%, spiking over the next year and a half, peaking at 9.1%, falling last month to 5%.
I know that there's a lot of pessimism out there, and you can't ignore the fact that there is high inflation, or at least relatively high inflation. At this juncture, I don't see the economy being a slam dunk for the incumbent, in this case Biden, or something that's going to be a big negative. Because again, the economy is solid, it's sound. It's not doing great. It's doing good.
Economic issues have plagued one-term presidencies in the past. High unemployment under President Gerald Ford, soaring inflation under President Jimmy Carter, and under President George H.W. Bush, sluggish GDP growth and a soaring poverty rate. Those conditions are far worse than the present, but that's not stopping the president's opponents from making it a target. In Washington, I'm Atra El Nashar.
On to Game 5. We're taking a look at what stands in the way of the Kraken as they head back to Denver.
And addressing travel troubles, the solutions that one former FAA official is proposing before the summer travel season.
And hi there, everybody. We are talking about a major warm-up. In fact, some locations this week around the Sound could hit 80 degrees. The numbers coming up in my forecast.
I'm Angela Brown in Washington, D.C. Under siege, DEI programs under attack across the country, what GOP leaders are demanding and what advocates are doing.
KOMO News continues after this.
KOMO